Okay, there's my finished product. Those are the beans that I have canned in the crock pot. It is a simple, easy way to can beans if you have a small amount. You don't have to stand there all day and stand with them. You simply break your beans, wash them, put them in the crock pot, let them cook. Time is precious. It's always easier to do something that doesn't require you standing over a stove for hours. A nice big bowl of beans. That was about a half a peck of the brown Kentucky Wonder pole beans from the garden. Next step is to wash these and put them in the slow cooker. All right, there we go. That is a large crock pot full of beans. I have it started out on high for 2 hours because I'll be awake. When the alarm goes off to let me know that the 2 hours are up, the beans should be good and warm, and then I will turn them down to low and they will cook all night and part of tomorrow. Okay, the beans have now cooked in the crock pot for approximately 20 hours. They are actually done now. Could be seasoned and just eat, but that little half peck of beans was a little more than we'd want to eat at one time. I'm putting my beans in quart canning jars now. And of course I'm putting regular canning salt in my jars. Of course the beans are being packed into a jar that's been sterilized and is hot so that the hot beans from the crock pot do not crack the jar. Now I like to actually put my salt in the bottom of my jar. That works out quite well for us. I'll put the beans in. I'll simply get it within about a ½ inch head space at the top with the liquid. Screw on the lid and I'll put it in the boiling water bath. As with any canning process, once you get your beans and your liquid in there, you're going to want to make sure that you wipe the top of that jar. You don't want all your hard work wasted because there was something on top of the jar that caused the jar not to seal properly. Okay, this is not really a canner. This is called a corn boiler, but it is about a 3-gallon pot, and it is tall enough that my jars will fit down in there and boil. Down in the bottom of this, if you see that yellow, that's a very clean dishcloth. That is set down so that the jars themselves don't bounce. The jars, if you don't have some kind of cloth in there, will bounce all over. And I learned that from my Mamaw Delk. Mamaw used to can all of her beans actually in a wash tub out in the backyard. And she always packed rags around the jars, and she put the jars in a very large wash tub, and I guess sometimes she'd have close to 100 jars in there tightly packed with rags around them, and she'd boil them for 4 hours or more, sometimes 6 hours. She would keep a fire under the wash tub, and it was just a wood fire, and she'd be out there on the back porch watching that fire, and as it start burning a little bit low, she was out there cramming more firewood underneath that tub. And the wash tub set up on cinder blocks, which, if you don't know what a cinder block is, that might be a country term. That's simply a concrete block. All right, I've taken the beans out of the boiling water bath. When you're doing quarts, I've always heard do them for 45 minutes. When you're doing pints, you do them for 30 minutes. There's my finished product. Those are the beans that I have canned in the crock pot. It is a simple, easy way to can beans if you have a small amount. You don't have to stand there all day and stand with them. You simply break your beans, wash them, put them in the crock pot, let them cook. I like mine to cook for at least 20 hours or more on low. I will start them on high just for about an hour to get the pot good and warm. And when they're done, I take a ladle them over into my jars, which have been sterilized and hot before I put them in. Put on my jars, follow the canning instructions that anyone would using a water bath, and I water bath the quarts for 45 minutes. I don't even have to stand in the kitchen and watch a pressure cooker while they're water bathing. I simply turn them on and set the timer. It is the way I can my beans, especially when I was gathering just small amounts and I worked for a living. Time is precious. It's always easier to do something that doesn't require you standing over a stove for hours. I hope you've enjoyed my video. If you've liked it, please subscribe. If you would like to help us, it would be very, very beneficial for us if you would share our post on your social media sites. Thank you, and have a truly blessed, and I do mean a truly blessed, rest of the week.